Joining us tonight at 10, a former Columbus area pastor pleads guilty after being arrested in an online child sex sting in Kentucky. Michael Shane Cruz pleaded guilty to criminal attempt to commit an unlawful transaction with a minor third degree. That is a Class B misdemeanor in the state of Kentucky. Cruz was arrested in Danville, Kentucky back in October of 2017. At the time of his arrest, court documents alleged Cruz started an online chat and arranged to meet a 16-year-old gay teen for a sexual act. That teen was an undercover detective. Prosecutors are recommending a 30-day jail sentence for Cruz. He's scheduled to go back to court this June. Here at home, a Tupelo man is arrested for aggravated trafficking of narcotics. Samuel Lee's home on Willow Road was searched Tuesday by TPD and North Mississippi narcotics agents. Investigators say they seized 1 pound of alleged methamphetamine and about $30,000 in cash. Lee is also believed to be involved in 3 burglary cases and a grand larceny case. That evidence, investigators say, will be presented to the next Lee County grand jury. Well, spring break is here, and while it's vacation time for many students, some criminals are hard at work. Our Quentin Smith, he speaks with police to find out how students can protect their property even when they're away. He joins us live in the studio with more. Hey, Quentin.
Well, Scott, it's a trend that we typically see every year. Whenever students are gone, burglaries tend to go up, and the city of Starkville is no exception. However, there are a few things you can do to make sure your home and belongings are safe while you're away. Starkville police say be sure to lock all of your windows and doors before leaving home for the break, as well as leaving a radio or TV on a timer to make it look like someone is at home. They also suggest alerting your neighbors that you'll be gone and have them keeping an eye on things while you are away.
Be proactive and try not to make it obvious that no one's at the residence. And in addition to the other things, we have a vacation home check form that's available on our website. You can fill the form out, and at least once every 24 hours an officer will come by and walk around your residence and check around it, make sure nothing looks out of place.
Now, to find out more about the vacation home check, just visit our website. And of course, if you see anything suspicious happening over the break, you're asked to contact police. Scott?
New tonight at 10, the director of the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency says Lee County residents who suffered flood damage several weeks ago can get assistance if they meet qualifications. MEMA Director Greg Michelle took a quick walking tour of neighborhoods in Saltillo that were hit hard by the February 22nd floods. State Senator Chad McMahon says the process is moving swiftly so people and businesses can get the assistance they need.
They will choose a nonprofit for the funds to be deposited with a nonprofit, and then there will be an administrator. The nonprofit's going to be create, and then the administrator will be Families First, which is playing a vital role in our region. Families First has 31 MEMA certified employees on staff, so they're ready to go, and we're going to be sure that everyone here in Lee County that experienced flood damage receives some assistance.
Lee County had about 47 homes with flood damage. Senator McMahon points out that money will be available for materials people need to repair damage caused by the floods. It's been almost 1 week since an EF4 tornado claimed the lives of 23 people in Lee County, Alabama. The disaster is one that many here in Mississippi can relate to. Our Cash Matlock, he spoke with funeral directors in Amory and Tupelo about how they handle such a crisis. Cash.
Well, that's right, Scott. And unfortunately, Smithville knows all too well the pain and sorrow that comes with severe weather and tornadoes. And those in the funeral industry say that it takes the entire community to come back after the storm. Robert Pickle is the manager and funeral director at E.E. Pickle Funeral Home in Amory, and he's all too familiar with the subject of grief. He says the recent disaster in Lee County, Alabama reminds him of the Smithville tornado in 2011.
We don't understand. We know God's in control, but it takes a toll. Just because you don't expect it. A major disaster puts strains on all types of essential services, especially in small towns. And funeral homes can find themselves dealing with an already difficult job in an almost impossible time frame. Everybody works together, and that's the beauty of it. We had folks that called right away and said, how can we help you?
The tornado hit Smithville. There were several of us that went to Smithville and offered our services there. They came from everywhere, quite frankly.
Area funeral homes say in times like these, they don't see each other as competitors.
We're here to help each other. Even if it's our competitor, we care not. And that's the way it should be.
There are either 3 or 4 couples who died, and so we're doing a double service. It's just one service charge instead of 2, and that's just a way of giving back because it's totally unexpected and it's just the right thing to do.
It's just not a time to worry about money. It's a disaster. And so we do what we have to do, but FEMA takes care of some of that, believe it or not, you know, the emergency management services. So it's all kinds of ways of dealing with it. We come to each other's rescue in everything from caskets to cars to embalming services, preparation, anything that's needed to carry on those funerals.
Industry insiders say it takes the entire community coming together as one to move on after tragedy strikes.
Sometimes small towns get knocked, but when you have something major like a tornado, everybody rallies together.
Well, the 2011 Smithville tornado also resulted in 23 deaths.
All right, thank you very much, Cash. Well, time now to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson with a first look at our forecast. Hey there, Keith.
Hey, Scott, we have more severe weather potential tomorrow, mainly in the afternoon and evening now, and it looks like all modes still on the table here. Just live your life as normal tomorrow. Have a weather action plan just in case we get some of these storms that pop. This evening, just some lighter showers here across North Mississippi. You can see some of the wet streets there in downtown Tupelo. We're mild. We are in the 60s at this point. Tomorrow back into the 70s, mild and breezy, strong storms in the afternoon and evening. For the near term, not a lot going on. We're watching the system to come together tomorrow. More on that in just a few minutes.
Well, would you be willing to pay more taxes if it meant having your neighborhood spruced up or security measures increased? Courtney Ann Jackson explains how the Community Improvement District model would work if signed into law.
Some may complain about the possibility of property taxes getting raised, but chairman of the Madison Organization of Neighborhood Associations, Paul Tankersley, says upkeep of a neighborhood translates to maintaining property values.
But this, you get instant benefit because it all goes right back to where you live, right there.
House Bill 1612 would give homeowner associations taxing authority through creation of special improvement assessment districts. Those nonprofits would be able to impose up to 6 mills of property tax for improvements like streets, securities, or parks. But it would require 60% of the homeowners to support the increase. Jackson leaders and neighborhood associations have stood behind the idea of community improvement districts for the last several years.
We need to use every technique and every source of funding that we can get. And if we can get people to adopt their own neighborhoods, fix their own potholes, what's to complain about?
Tankersley says most of Madison's neighborhood associations already have some enforcement powers.
For a neighborhood that has covenants and that the covenants give them the legal right to collect assessments, this bill means nothing. They don't need it.
But he notes that even some with covenants don't have the power to take the neighbors to court for failing to pay their dues.
It basically would spread the expense of maintenance over everybody in the neighborhood instead of a few who choose to pay.
The bill has cleared the House and is awaiting Senate approval. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Mississippi State is looking to expand its Thad Cochran Research Park, and they're looking to buy some new property to help them do just that. The university is negotiating to buy the Cadence Bank building on West Main Street in Starkville. The building's sale gives the bank the opportunity to construct a new modern facility on Russell Street. If sold, school leaders believe it'll be a win-win for everyone.
We still have startups, new companies, or spinoffs that are expressing an interest in a more urban setting for their businesses. They want to be in office space that affords them walkability, access to restaurants, the ability to bike to work rather than drive if they'd like, but they want a more urban downtown type experience. The Cadence Bank is perfect for an expansion of the Cochran Research Park in that way.
So far, no timetable has been set on when finalizing the negotiations.
A few days ago, we had lows down into the low 20s. Tonight, worst case scenario, probably lower 60s. Still a chance for a little bit of rain here tonight. Storms possible tomorrow. The latest on that coming up next. Stay tuned.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
10:12 on our Friday evening. Hopefully you're doing well. No major weather catastrophes here in North Mississippi or West Alabama this evening. We do have quiet conditions also at Durham's Pharmacy there in Vernon. But we do have some interesting weather coming our way forward tomorrow. 60s in the morning, some showers possible, maybe a few storms too. Probably sub-severe activity early on, but by early afternoon through the evening, we'll have a chance for some of those stronger storms. Highs getting back into the 70s, low to mid 70s across the region with winds 10 to 25 with some higher gusts even outside of the storm. So breezy weather tomorrow, humidity coming on in. And it looks like we'll have some unstable air in the afternoon, also some low-level wind energy. If they team up in our area, that's where the best chance of some of those strong storms will be. A cold front will slip on through during the late evening, and that will give us more stable air on Sunday. So the second half of this weekend, a little bit better than what we have in store for tomorrow. Now, there's still a chance for some damaging wind gusts, a few isolated tornadoes in the region tomorrow, also some hail and some rain. Now, this is possible. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Just have a weather action plan ready to go. Of course, if we do get into a tornado warning situation, we will simulcast our signal with our radio partners here. So if you're driving around, you can stay updated with the latest severe weather situation. So just saying that we have a chance for severe weather. Don't panic. Don't freak out. We've been through this 1,000 times. But there's a chance for some strong storms tomorrow, and just stay weather aware. This evening, we do have some storms, or at least some showers moving through. A little bit of lightning over into Alabama, but nothing sinister right now. We're really watching this big system back here in the high plains. It's really going to start to get more organized tonight. Right now, there's really not a lot happening with it, but later on tonight, look at that. Blossoming showers and storms getting closer and closer to the area by mid to late morning tomorrow. Now, as you wake up, we probably won't see a lot of activity in our region. As we get into the second part of the day, we do anticipate some stronger activity, but this initial wave here probably won't be too terribly intense. As we get into the afternoon and evening, as we tap into that unstable air and maybe some of that wind energy, there's an opportunity for some stronger storms around here, and those would be the ones, if we're going to get them, that could produce a tornado or two around here. So we'll watch this as we go throughout the course of the evening. They'll line on up and then shift down to the southeast as that cold front moves on through. And it looks like the severe weather threat's really going to be done by late evening tomorrow, probably midnight at the latest. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Active weather tomorrow, not quite as active on Sunday, but do not forget about the time change. We spring forward. We lose an hour of sleep, but we can handle that. 60s Monday and Tuesday. More heavy rain, more storms possible Wednesday and Thursday.
Want that meal to go but don't have time to pick it up? A new delivery service is hitting the streets. We take a look when we come back.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back. The online food delivery market is growing rapidly. Estimates show that half of all dinners in the nation have used diners in the nation have used a food delivery service in the past 3 months. Riley Martin, he shows us how a national company and a local firm are staking their claims in Northeast Mississippi.
It's been a busy week for drivers with Waiter, the newest food delivery service for Tupelo.
Thank you. Have a great day. You too.
Waiter started in Lake Charles, Louisiana in 2015 and is now in more than 20 states. They expect to hire 100 drivers for the Tupelo market, and they currently have partnerships with more than 40 area restaurants.
It's going really great. We're increasing daily. Everyone loves us here. We love Tupelo, and we're great to be here.
Waiter is an app-based service with a $5 delivery fee. The company has been expanding rapidly and targets small to medium-sized markets. Morsey believes Tupelo is a great fit for Waiter.
And we decided to come over here and spread the Waiter love to Tupelo, Mississippi. And we have all kinds of different features on our app.
Tupelo To Go is another business that had humble beginnings. The Tupelo-based food delivery service began more than 3 years ago when two business partners realized that people wanted food from local restaurants but didn't necessarily want to dine out. It was all about convenience and meeting an unmet need in the market.
I've lived in Tupelo my entire life, and I always wanted some kind of delivery. I worked in the medical field, so we just didn't have a very long lunch.
Thank you for calling Tupelo to Go. This is Andy. How may I help you?
Tupelo to Go has seen swift growth. They now operate out of a suite of offices on Spring Street with as many as 4 dispatchers during peak times. Customers can also use an app to order, and Tupelo to Go partners with more than 50 restaurants. Payne believes the company can not only survive, but thrive with a loyal and growing customer base.
The local support has been, really good to us since day one. It's just been incredible. So we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing, loving what we do, and we don't plan on going anywhere.
You have a good day.
Both Waiter and Tupelo to Go realize the demand has been around long before the technology, and both believe there are plenty of hungry customers willing to use their services. Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Both Waiter and Tupelo to Go have free apps for download on your smartphone. Well, we've got more action from Jackson. The Ingomar boys looking for the program's 6th state title. Highlights from the game are next in sports.
WCBI sports coverage of the SEC basketball tournament is brought to you by Wade Incorporated. Bank First, a better way to bank. And visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Welcome into sports. I'm Courtney Robb. Mississippi State dominating Tennessee in the SEC tournament. Quarterfinals to survive and advance for another day. WCBI Sports' Tom Ebel reports from Greenville, South Carolina with more.
Mississippi State is off to the semifinals thanks to what they do best, ball pressure. Mississippi State forcing Tennessee into 26 turnovers and scoring 30 points off those turnovers. After a bit of a sluggish start, Tennessee starting red hot from beyond the arc, 5 for 8 from 3 and leading by 6 after 1. Vic Schaefer unleashed Jasmine Holmes and Jordan Danbury on Tennessee's front court. Sophomore guard Avina Westbrook was not playing when the Bulldogs last met Tennessee in February, but Jazz Holmes saw what Westbrook did to LSU on Thursday night and made sure that wasn't going to be a repeat performance.
That's who they look for to start their offense and make big plays. And she had a good game yesterday. So Coach challenged me to step up and be that person to defend, and that's what I did.
And that's how I plan every game to make the point guard uncomfortable. That's their job, is to run their offense, and if the point guard is uncomfortable, then it's no offense.
I just think that's who we are. I think that's our kids. I think that's their commitment to their teammates. That's their commitment to our style of play. And let's face it, it gets everybody excited. I mean, even if you're not a Bulldog fan, you can appreciate and respect a kid that plays the game like that. And then we talk about honoring the game. It's how you play the game. And the game doesn't cheat you. You get out of the game what you put into the game.
The Bulldogs will get a chance at revenge, taking on the Missouri Tigers in the semifinals. Missouri being the only team to defeat Mississippi State in conference play in the regular season. Now the Bulldogs will have to go through the Tigers to get to the finals on Sunday. The game between the Bulldogs and Missouri tipping off at 4 p.m. Central Time. We'll have much more here from Greenville coming up on Saturday to continue our coverage of the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. Reporting here inside Bon Secure Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina, Tom Ebel for WCBI Sports. Courtney will send it back to you in Columbus.
Thank you, Tom. Now let's get to some action in Jackson. Ingomar battling it out with Bay Springs for the 2A Boys State Championship. Trent Bradley driving and putting the floater up to have the Falcons lead there by 4 in the first quarter. Still in the first, Trent Bradley swings the ball to Nathan Whedon, pulls the three-point money shot to go down, and the Falcons back up by 4. Second quarter, Ingomar ball. Hunter Bynum finds Keelan Hall on the wing and knocks down the three-point bucket. Nothing but net. Falcons leading now by 7. Bay Springs making a run. Zach Whitlock finds Kevin Grimes on a curl cut. He pulls the jumper, and it hits. Ingomar only leading by 3 now at this point, and then nearing the end of the half, Nathan Whedon on the break pulls the mid-range J in transition to extend the Falcons' lead back to 4. But things would not end in Ingomar's favor. Bay Springs goes on to pull out a close one down the stretch. The final score in this one, Bay Springs 56, Ingomar 51.
If you look up the prototypical Ingomar basketball player, that's 3 pitchers that would probably be there beside it. You know, they're not the biggest or the strongest or jump the highest or run the fastest, but they get out there and they compete. And, you know, we had a heck of a year and probably made it a lot further than most people would have thought we would have. I just wish for them and for their sake that we would have been about 6 points better.
Well, a new head football coach is headed for Columbus High School. First reported by Brandon Shields and then confirmed by WCBI. Josh Pulfus will be the Falcons' newest head coach. Pulfus joins Columbus after spending the past year as an assistant coach to the three-time 5A state champs, the West Point Green Wave. He spent the year before that as the head coach at Kemper County. Pulfus is the third head coaching hire at Columbus within the past 3 years. Well, some action on the diamond today. Mississippi State having that doubleheader in order to beat out the rain. The final in game 1, 9-2 over Maine, and then in game 2 still dominating in that game, 5-1 going to be the final. Ole Miss also having an insane game this afternoon. They got that 15-9 win over UAB in game 2 for Ole Miss. Well, that's been moved up to 7 p.m. tomorrow night to also beat out those storms. That's it for sports. We'll have the last look at your forecast coming up after the break. Stick with us.
Here's our forecast. We do have some storms possible in the morning. I think the best chance for severe weather, if we're going to get it, Scott, afternoon and evening tomorrow. Jacob Dickey will be in here tomorrow morning with updates. We'll be, of course, following it all day long here. Also online, too, and social media. Sunday looks better. Don't forget about the time change. More rain, more storms next week. Go figure.
I've been singing, sorry, if I could turn back time all day because of springing forward.
But we're going forward, not back.
That's true.
You can go back, you can be off 2 hours. Do what you want.
Well, we're out of time now. Turn it forward. Bye.